dissidents.
Plus, Capitol Police ordered to arrest staff and visitors not wearing masks after new House mandate. Hello, Christian Patriots, and welcome to Church and State, where we strive to plug into the pew and plug into politics. I'm your host, Caleb Collier, and with me today, Pastor Gabe Blomgren.
You're in a good mood.
Well, you're here. I can't tell you, number one, you're here, and number two, that music. We haven't had that in a while as well. And it just
start out.
It feels like the old days. And we're here. We're in our new studio. We've been working on this.
I like the digs.
Yeah, I mean,
we have Travis back.
We've got Travis the tech.
We'll have him mic'd up eventually.
Yeah, well, we'll definitely incorporate Travis. I know a lot of our audience enjoys Travis.
Appeal to heaven behind me. So those of you who are on radio who can't see the studio, we have a flag that says "Appeal to Heaven" behind me, and we have the "No Step on Sneck" flag behind my buddy here. Don't tread on me. I love it.
Church and State right there.
Yeah. Gadsden and the Appeal to Heaven, which a lot of people don't know this is an ancient or an old flag.
Yeah, that was actually the first.
Yeah.
Before Old Glory. Yeah, that's crazy. That's what they were using, Appeal to Heaven, yeah.
Wow.
Pretty cool.
A lot of people don't know about the history of this flag.
You know,
we got to do a show on it eventually.
I know. I love to geek out on our founding fathers and the foundation of this nation and everything. Here's one for you. I was just reading this. You know who James Otis is?
No clue.
Founding father. All right. Actually trained Samuel Adams.
Wow.
Impressive individual. He was actually attacked by a British officer and struck in the head so severely that he would randomly suffer bouts of insanity. Like, just completely went off his rocker and then he'd come back around, okay?
Wow.
So he realized he was a liability, and he started praying to God that God would take him from this earth by a lightning strike. Okay, because he realized he was so much of a liability when he'd suffered these bouts of insanity. Sure enough, he's standing at a door. There's like 7 or 8 people inside the room. He gets hit by lightning, dies instantly.
In a house?
In a house. Well, he's standing at the doorway.
Near the door, okay.
Yeah. None of the other people were injured at all. There was not a mark on Otis's body either.
And he's gone.
Gone.
Wow.
I know, isn't that amazing?
Be careful what you pray for.
Well,
it was a good request.
He was to a better place.
And a glory. Wow. Insane.
Pretty cool. So anyway.
And that history moment was brought to you by Caleb Collier.
There you go.
Of Church and State.
Yes. So anyway, tell the audience what you've been doing, man, because everybody, you know what's funny, and I said this on the radio, I'm a lot happier when you're with me.
Yeah.
Like I get a little amped up, a little angry.
You need the softening of the church to accompany this state.
Yeah. So what have you been doing?
I'm still not done, but I have the world's biggest remodel project. One of my good friends is helping me bring in, we've brought in 1,500 yards of dirt. So it's just too much. It's HGTV on steroids. It doesn't help that for years we've, made things, you survive when you're young and poor on half-done projects, and now I'm 40, so I'm old and I have a little bit of money. So you're
older than 40.
Yeah,
right.
43.
Yeah,
Who's counting?
I am.
You are.
So, but you will make an occasional appearance on Church and State.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Thursdays are open now.
Okay. Hey, we can count on Gabe for some Church and
State. I hate to swing so uncasually, but the world is getting stupid right now. We're going to get into the re-mask mandates that California is already imposing, New York's imposing. We're going to see, we get the feeling that we are literally ramping up. And I know why it's happening. It's because of Joe Biden's cognitive dysfunction. He's losing it quickly.
Yeah, he really is.
And we're seeing the rest of the elites. They're scrambling right now.
I already went through this, but I love that you're going to be able to contribute to this because and I didn't have the ability to play the audio clip either. So I'd love for our audience to actually be able to hear it from the horse's mouth. We're, of course, talking about Joe Biden's latest gaffe. And I don't know, Gabe, originally, we talked about, the hairy legs and kids used to rub their hands on it, so it knows about roaches. We've talked about not being able to sit on the toilet properly. This one may take the cake. What do you think?
This is, we never had any video to back up the story of where Joe Biden said on at either a press conference or somewhere that he sat on the toilet backwards and that it's like a desk and that you can eat your cereal while you do your business. You can do your business while you do your business.
Yeah.
there was no audio of that, but this one takes the cake because now we have audio of it, and Unreal. We're gonna. Oh no, yeah, I don't know what you're doing. Keep talking for a second.
Yeah, I don't know what happened there. All right, so
I don't know what happened there. I'm gonna double check something. So keep talking.
Well, yeah, I'll set the stage for this. So Joe Biden is approaching a group of reporters. One of the reporters asks him an immigration question, and he looks like he's out of his mind. He's got a smile on his face, and he says that my butt was wiped, and
it's unbelievable. He comes right. He walks. This is at the White House. There's press people. I think there's helicopter noise in the background. So forgive the noise. But what he says is undeniable. My butt's been wiped. And they're asking, they say the word immigration. You can hear them say immigration, masks. And they're not asking him anything about that. So for him to respond that way is just comical.
What must be what?
Immigration. A pathway for citizenship.
so then he goes back into like discussing,
And
but
then
he turns around and
away.
walks away right off the bat. Yeah, he's just.
See her? She's talking about masks and stuff. Listen, here it comes. All right, sorry for the noise.
What must be what?
Immigration.
My butt's been wiped.
And he's got this smile that looks like he's just
Senile.
he does. He looks like he's senile. Gabe, you and I have both worked EMS. We've
Yes.
dealt with
Older
dementia patients, Alzheimer patients, and they will say things like this, right? And usually it's because it just happened. It's fresh on their mind because their memory is just shot. And so I'm suspicious that Joe Biden literally just had that occur, and he decided to announce it to the press corps.
Yeah, he felt the need to tell everyone that his butt has been wiped.
So here's the thing. It's only a matter of time. They've got to get rid of Joe Biden. They've got to implement the 25th Amendment. Section 4 in the 25th Amendment is actually what discusses what needs to occur if the president is unable to discharge the powers and duties of his office. Then the vice president shall immediately assume the powers. That's a scary thought for us.
Yeah, truly. I think he was already not doing his duties, but they have him up front in front of the public, and he can't do that. That was his one duty that he had to perform, is to look like a normal civil human being. And when you're talking about your butt being wiped, he's also telling people he's drove 18-wheelers. He never did that. You know, everybody's fact checking what he's saying. So it's just one. It used to be gaffes. Now he's off his rocker.
He is, and I showed you it was the quote, it was the transcript of his
What he said
interview
with
with Don Lemon, and that was just
Unreal.
you
He's
couldn't
talking
even
about
make
the
sense
man
of
on
it.
the moon and aliens.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, we are seeing his cognitive implosion on full display. And pretty soon here, they're going to, behind the curtain, say, cut.
Yeah.
His job is done.
I think I went on record on Church and State and said I didn't think that he would last to 2022. And honestly,
You think, oh,
I think it's
I don't think it's gonna
escalating.
last
I know.
more than a
I think
month. We got a month.
Yeah, I agree. I think a month, 2 months at max. There's no way they can keep this guy going.
And in the background, they're moving. It's funny. They're like talking about him driving 18-wheelers. They're moving this process on 18-wheelers. They're all over the world right now. They are scrambling to ramp up the Delta variant story, the CDC, all that information. We got a latest story of Israel.
It's so sad to see what's occurring in Israel. You know, you've got God's chosen people, and they are they are in the fast lane for tyranny.
They've become the guinea pig
They
for
have.
tyranny. When I was there, I said to you, Caleb, I was surprised at how little space everyone had. I was blown away about the apartment complexes. Everyone wants to live in Jerusalem. Of course, it's the holy city, but even the outskirts, people are crammed together. So I felt almost like, wow, I thought there'd be more of a rural feel.
Mm-hmm.
You only saw that on the kibbutz, the farms way out in the.
Up in northern Israel, I saw
little
that.
bit more
But remember,
spread
I
out,
told
but-
you Tiberias was my favorite because it was
Yeah,
a
it was
little
more-
more spread out. Yeah.
But people live in these mass city centers in small condos, and Israel now had their health ministry experts panel recommend the third COVID shot for older Israelis. So they're pushing this on the elderly Israelis, but they're on their third shot, Caleb.
You know, it's amazing because, these global elitists that want to depopulate the world, they've always said, Bill Gates famously said, is that person, that older person who's maybe lived their life, is it worth 10 teachers? And he's like, that's the question we need to be asking ourselves. We could be taking care of that one old person, or we could pay 10 teachers, right? And so here they are targeting the elderly once again.
And I'm guessing, it says here, the professor, head of infectious disease unit in Tel Aviv, they have their research team looking into the move. She said that she hopes to begin testing a third dose next week, meaning they've never probably used this fully on humans. So they're like guinea pigs in Israel.
Lab rats, yeah.
It's so sad.
Yeah, and I just don't understand that mindset. I know that it's a spirit of fear that has consumed these people. They are terrified of dying from the COVID-19, but they've stopped living. And that's probably the greatest travesty, is these people have stopped living. They're literally afraid to go outside, afraid to approach family and friends, go to barbecues, anything like this, because I might die. Well, we're all dying.
And the bipolarness of it all, because 2 weeks ago, it literally from the World Health Organization, U.S. Centers for Disease Control, said there was no need at this time for a third dose. But as Israeli Health Ministry data showed a sharp decline in the vaccine's effectiveness against infection and a slight decline in preventing severe illnesses. So one little like kinetic reaction of data, and then they just flip off the handle. They just boom.
Yeah.
It reminds me of like an abusive relationship. It's like,
it is.
Can we just settle down here and quit freaking out and just let people, because nobody's dying. No one's actually dying. People are getting sick.
It's rare, yeah.
So the new fear is our hospital workers are going to get overran. Hospitals are going to get overran. Has nothing to do with actual death totals. They're super, super ramping up that hospitals are going to get overran.
Yeah, they do this all the time, though. You and I have been around healthcare enough to know that they did this with the swine flu, and they've done this with Zika, and there's always something to be afraid of because they love keeping the people in fear because we're so easy to control that way. Hey, Travis, by the way, I forgot to start the clock, so here we go. New studio issues right off the bat. You're going to have to signal to us when we're hitting that 27 minutes. All right, thank you. So, hey, moving on to this next one, Gabe. California is a nightmare.
You found your new favorite restaurant, though.
I did, though. I got to go down to California and try this restaurant. Are you going to be in
California anytime soon?
I don't think so.
Dang it.
Yeah, but this
I want to get
Basilicos.
some footage of you there.
Yeah, I would for sure. Basilicos. I love this. Leave the mask, take the cannoli. With the Godfather. It's so cool.
The
so
symbol of like
I've actually known about this restaurant for quite some time. We've been discussing this as coordinators with JBS, with some of my California guys, because this guy, this owner, Tony Roman, he's just been open. He's been fined over $150,000 by the state for staying open during the pandemic, and now he's done even better than that. He's got billboards up, and he's saying that you have to have proof of being unvaccinated to enter the facility.
Wow.
Now, here's the thing. You cannot prove unvaccination. And he says this is a gimmick.
Okay.
So, and what's cool is there's a lot of people, as you go through the article, there's a lot of people that are vaccinated that say they have no problem with this at all. And they're pointing out the hypocrisy of the left, who's saying there's so many restaurants out there that say you have to have a vaccine.
Right.
So if this guy wants to say you can't be vaccinated, that's his right.
Exactly.
I mean, they're using this argument, right? The no shirt, no shoes, no service argument in actually defending like these hospitals that are saying if you work here, you have to be vaccinated. So if that's the case, then here you are right here. This is the flip side of the coin. This guy can say if you're vaccinated,
should be able to declare this is a no vaccine zone.
Sure.
I'd like to see other businesses.
Yeah. I agree. Now he produced a video because it was an Instagram video because everybody's just going nuts over this, right?
I'm sure he's in California, of course.
Yeah, he announces that he has no intention of paying the penalties, and actually he included clips of The Godfather in the video.
I love it. Forget about it.
Yeah, right.
I imagine this guy having a hairy chest and like gold chains, being a little bit overweight. Does anybody do we have
Really?
a picture? Do we have a picture? Yeah, dude. I'm racist.
Yeah, you are. Man,
You're Italian, bro.
I am Italian.
I'm Hispanic, dude. If this guy was Hispanic, I would imagine him having like a sawed-off shotgun and a bandolero and maybe like chest hair as well.
So this is why I like you on the show, because
I'm
people
kinda-
say I go off without you a little bit, but
Yeah.
you say things I would never say. So it makes me look like the good guy every time.
This guy's great. We need to make T-shirts. Roman says, "Forget about it.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Go to
Get out of here
Basilicos.
with your vaccines."
I love the tagline: "Leave the mask, take the cannoli."
Yeah, good man.
You like cannoli?
I actually, what's funny is I just had cannoli for the first time this last week. In all places,
Your whole life, you've
I've
never had.
And I get this, in Anaconda, Montana, there's a little Italian restaurant. Everything is homemade. It's
Yeah.
called Bella's.
Okay.
You got to visit it. Everything's homemade. All the crust, all the bread, everything's homemade. So they have homemade cannolis. You get for $7 2 homemade cannolis. One was pistachio and one of them was cherry chocolate. Amazing. So
I can't believe you've lived on this world for 43
Nope.
years and you've never
I
had
heard
cannoli.
some guy in the restaurant talking about cannolis, and I looked at my wife and I go, "Is a cannoli like a pasta?" And she goes, "It's a dessert." I'm like, "We're getting it." So yeah,
I am shocked
Yeah.
by this.
just get yourself a cannoli.
Yeah, I'm
Down
I
at
mean,
Gino's.
At least I would assume you'd be curious. You know that. Hey, I've never had this before. I'd like to try it.
Sorry, man. I'm living life now.
Okay. Anyway, hey, let's move over from California to Idaho, which is really where everyone's moving, right?
We just got back from St. Regis.
There's a
and-
mass exodus though out of California to
Yeah.
Idaho.
Yeah. We met some folks from Idaho, and we were in St. Regis at the Red Pill Festival, and it seems like Idaho is a new destination escape.
Yeah, and actually, you take this real quick because I want to read something that the Kootenai County Central Committee, Republican Central Committee, just passed. Actually,
Yeah, so this article comes out of the New American. We're talking about Representative Priscilla Giddings, and this girl from Caleb, like, she's BA. She says that conservatives must, capital M, must protect healthcare workers from the coronavirus vaccine mandates. Caleb and I were just kind of freaking out because both of our wives are nurses, and they are specifically adamant, where I'm so proud of our wives, because it wasn't always this way when we first married them. There are now no vaccine in my body, especially the COVID-19 vaccine. And the pressure is coming on thick in the state of California. They've just required, as far as I know, all state workers, I believe,
yeah,
and state health, not state healthcare, but state employees.
well, they're going for federal employees,
Yeah.
so they're going after like VA is pushing this to where you have to be
The
vaccinated.
Department of Veteran Affairs is now the first department in the United States, federal department, to across the board. Veterans Affairs is requiring, it's a mandate. So
Yeah.
if you work for the VA, it's a mandate now.
And now DC has just announced that as of Saturday, or this Saturday, this coming up Saturday, you have to wear a mask, whether you're vaccinated or not. Right? So
They're policing it.
they are
That's our
returning.
last story. We'll jump back into that, but
Yeah, well, actually, this is the last story is about the House. So, but no, this is what they're doing. They are demonizing the anti-vaxxed, right? The people that are remaining unvaccinated, and they're gonna force the mask mandates. I've been saying this for a little bit, Gabe. You've been kind of off the air, but do you agree with me that we're going to see a return of masks here
yes.
real
and
soon?
I keep thinking to myself, I'm just going to do exactly what I wasn't doing. Round 2 means I'm just going to be hated and scorned even more. But what's cool, though, Caleb, is what we have on our side is towards the end, everyone was kind of like coming out of this fog of like Lemmingville, realizing, what the heck were we doing?
Yeah.
And so I think you're going to have a harder time selling this unless they pour on the fear,
Absolutely.
which
So
they still haven't done.
yeah. So by the way, the Priscilla Giddings is running for lieutenant governor of Idaho. And this woman is amazing.
And
I've met with
she's
her.
Combat pilot.
Yeah, from the Warthog.
1,000 combat flight hours in combat.
Yeah.
So this woman's probably killed people.
Well, I wouldn't even be able to comment on that. I'm not sure,
That's
but
maybe, but
still, she is a wonderful woman. She is an absolute patriot of the line of Betsy Ross. I mean, she is that good. Abigail Adams type of person right here, running for lieutenant governor, and she has written an article for the New American talking about the fact that we need to defend women's rights to be able to, or not just women's rights, everyone's rights to be able to say no to this vaccine. She talks about the fact that, you know what her nickname in her call sign actually
no.
was? Altoid. You know why?
Why?
They found her to be curiously strong.
Oh, that's great.
Isn't that great?
I love that. That's good.
Yeah. So she's a tough woman. She's been doing a wonderful job as a representative, and she would do an even better job as a lieutenant governor, especially if we can get McGeechan in as governor.
Yeah.
I mean, Idaho will literally be the state for patriots. And I want to read something that was passed on Tuesday. I had a very late night on Tuesday night. I was at the Kootenai County Central Committee, the Republican Central Committee, and they passed this. All right, listen to this. Whereas the mission of the John Birch Society is to bring about less government, more responsibility, and with God's help, a better world by providing leadership, education, and organized volunteer action in accordance with moral and constitutional principles. Whereas the John Birch Society enthusiastically endorses the U.S. Constitution and has worked for over 60 years toward educating and activating Americans to abide by the original intent of the Founding Fathers. Whereas the John Birch Society endorses the timeless principles of the Declaration of Independence, which proclaimed that our personal rights come from God, not from government. Whereas the Idaho Republican Party expresses firstly in our party platform that we believe the strength of our nation lies with our faith and reliance on God, our Creator. Whereas Idaho Republicans, according to our platform, also believe the United States Constitution is the greatest and most inspired document to govern a nation. And whereas the Coeur d'Alene Press reported that Kootenai County Commissioner Bill Brooks has voluntarily disaffiliated from the Idaho Republican Party, in part because the Kootenai Republican Party is tolerant of the John Birch Society.
Wow.
Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Idaho State Republican Central Committee affirms that the John Birch Society is a valuable organization that is dedicated to restoring the Republic according to the vision of the Founding Fathers, and be it further resolved that the Idaho State Republican Central Committee urges Idahoans who do not support our party platform to follow the example of Bill Brooks and voluntarily
There you
disaffiliate from the
go.
Idaho Republican Party. So that
Follow
passed.
Bill Brooks's design there. If you have a problem, you can resign.
Just leave. Yeah. If you have a problem with constitutional principles, if you have a problem with,
a republic form of government.
right? Then you're not supposed to be a Republican. You're a rhino. Get out. That's
Yeah.
what they're saying there. And Idaho is poised to become the most liberty-oriented state in the entire nation.
Praise God. I've been dreaming of a day where we would have rhinos fully exposed. So, hey, back to this story. Do you remember, because we want our healthcare workers to be protected. They bring up in this article, I think that Ms. Giddings saw that even Kamala had choice, because back in 2020, Kamala said this. She said, as far as the coronavirus vaccine, her response was, well, I don't think it's going to be an issue for all of us. Harris responded, I will say, I do not trust Donald Trump. So she said that. And then she said, a month later, the presidential debate, Harris said, if anything more emphatic on the subject, she said, if Donald Trump tells us we should take the vaccine, she declared, I'm not going to take it.
Yeah.
See,
She believed in personal freedom at that point.
right.
Not any longer. No. Now it should be mandatory.
Now she says she's no longer skeptical of the vaccine, or does she tolerate skepticism of others?
See,
I
yeah.
see how it is. So
No.
when Kamala wants to have skepticism, it's okay.
Yeah, because she's an elitist. I mean,
Oh.
they do this constantly, but you can see this. They're talking about the fact that, you know what, fine, if you don't want the vaccine, well, then you can't go to work. You can't go to the movies. You can't go to the ballpark. You can't go to the grocery store. You see, they're going to make people comply to this vaccine.
Washingtonians, you're going to see this, and you may, if you're a nurse or you're a doctor, if you're anti-vaccine, you may have to cross the Idaho border and work in Idaho. And I thank you to Michelle Giddings, Priscilla Giddings. Thank you so much for fighting for our healthcare workers. Wouldn't it be awesome if somebody did this in Washington?
Yeah. I think people can figure it out now that we're by a train, by the way.
Yeah. It's kind of cool.
Yeah. All right. Hey, last story, and I have no idea how much time we have left here, but we're going to try to get through this one as well. Capitol Police ordered to arrest staff and visitors not wearing masks after new House mandate. Gabe, this is huge. Nancy Pelosi is ordering the Capitol Police to arrest any staff. This is Congress. Congress can be arrested. If Rand Paul decides, you know what, I'm not wearing a mask, he can face arrest by the Capitol Police.
And the Capitol Police are not just any police. So this is turning into the new, there are a certain type of hat. You can call them an A hat. You can call them all kinds of different hats. But the hat they wear is tyrant right now.
Yeah, no, they are. They're black hats.
They are absolute tyrants. The Capitol Police are what I feel like are going to be our new Stasi example.
Yeah, we did a story, and I'm not sure if you were here or not, but they're putting Capitol Police branches in Florida and California. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're doing this. They're pushing a nationalized police force on us. And here you go. If you want to know how a nationalized police force would act, well, here they are. They might arrest visitors and staff who refuse to wear a mask in the house on the Capitol complex. This is incredible to me. And here's the thing. The vaccine, right? It's so, their logic is so ridiculous to me, Gabe. If you're vaccinated, right? Let's just say for argument's sake, Gabe, that you took the vaccine, you got both doses. If they bring out that third dose, you're going to get that as well, right? And I'm unvaccinated. If you're vaccinated, aren't you protected from me?
Well, you would think so.
You would think so, but no. I'm dangerous. I can shed it. You can still get it. So what's the point of getting this vaccine in the first place?
Control.
Yes. So apparently we have about a minute left, probably about 45 seconds right now. So anything else you wanted to add to these this display of tyranny here?
No, I just say grab your faith right now and get prepared to stand up with us, because Caleb and I and a lot of others in the Jumper Society, we're preparing to make a stand against this, whatever's coming.
Absolutely. We're going to have to. So, hey, good to see you here, buddy.
Yeah, good to be here.
I'm loving that you're here. We're going to do another show right after this as well. So, Church and State is sponsored in part by On Fire Ministries. Always remember, the tree of liberty is most likely a birch. And with that, Church and State is out.
God bless.